Hello, Northwest Arkansas. This is Coley Bailey with Fathom Realty, bringing you another monthly market update. Let's check out our October 2021 real estate sales numbers for our November update. Okay, at this point in the year, we have sold through over 10,000 houses here in Northwest Arkansas. That's including Washington and Benton counties. Our average sale price for this October is up over 17% from last October's. Now, just to keep this in perspective, the traditional real estate market appreciated at something like 3 to 6%. Okay, 6% being kind of on that high sort of average that you could expect your house to appreciate at. And guess what? We're almost 3 times more than that over the last year. Obviously, this has been fueled by the Fed's easy money policies, low interest rates, and of course, a huge lack of houses in the market. So, let's take a look at what the market snapshot looks like. And if you follow my Facebook page, you will see a chart like this about once a week, usually on Tuesday. And this is what they've been looking like for the past few weeks. We've been at around 0.82 months of supply. And what that means is that if you divide our active number, which has been about 800, by our sold number in the last 30 days, which has been about 1,000 for the last couple of months, we're holding right at about 24, 25 days worth of inventory. So if nothing else came into the market, we would sell through it in less than 1 month. And you'll be able to see from this next chart that we are about to go into our seasonal slowdown in the number of homes that are hitting the market. So let's take a look here. As you can see, over the last 5-6 years, typically we have a summer peak, just like this. Now, the 2020 summer peak was actually lower than the previous winter's trough for homes in the market. And then our inventory actually fell off a cliff coming into this year's winter. So our December, January coming into 2021. And our peak here toward late summer didn't get much above that trough coming into 2020 either. So we'll see what happens this winter, but as you can see, our inventory levels are starting to drop, and they'll be dropping into the trough of our winter season coming into 2022. So we'll see how that plays out, but take a look at the sales numbers from about the middle of this year. For the last 5 months, our sales numbers have been staying about the same, which means we have a very healthy buyer pool that's continuing to want homes. And so even if you list your house this winter, it's not a popular time to list a house coming into the holidays and, the colder times, the house, the exterior pictures don't look quite as pretty and all of that. But guess what? There are buyers ready and willing and able, and they have financing. Some of them have cash sitting back, ready to buy houses right now. So don't think you have to wait through the winter months to list your house. You could get that thing sold immediately if you price it right. You still have to price it right. You can't price it to the moon. But again, those prices are higher than they have been in previous years. And let's take a look at that. So our average price point this month for October was $326,000. And as you can see, that is staying pretty high from about the middle of this year on. It stayed toward a historical peak here. Also, our median sale prices at $273,000. This has been several months in a row that we've been above $270,000 for the median, meaning the middle house that sold in our market, which means it's very difficult to find houses below that amount. When they're below that, they are selling through very, very quickly. Okay, and so let's take a look at the price per square foot. In Bentonville, the price per square foot in October was up to $222 a square foot, if you can believe that. In Fayetteville, it was $181. And in the counties, we're looking at around $177, $178. Now, I've had a few people ask me my opinions on the Fed coming out and saying that the inflation rate that they are acknowledging is 6.2%. That is very, very high. Historically, that's a 30-year high in year-over-year inflation numbers. But keep in mind, our inflation numbers tracked by the Fed they don't track everything. For one thing, they don't track housing prices, they don't track rent, and they don't track energy prices either. So these are consumer good prices. Another way that they actually influence and, in my opinion, manipulate those numbers is they'll say, well, if the price of consumer good A goes up too high, people will just resort to consumer good B, which is a lower price. Maybe steak and hamburger. Probably not those exact products, but you get what I'm saying. They manipulate those numbers because they change what the numbers are even based off of. And again, they don't include housing and energy prices. And when you think about most households, housing makes up 25 to 35% of household income. So when you're not tracking that as an inflation number, you're not getting an accurate representation on inflation. And most people are feeling this year. And this is why we're having, the great resignation. And in a lot of ways, this might turn out to be a positive thing for our country, at least on the wage side. Obviously, we've had wage stagnation for about 30 years. A lot of people were making the same amount of money in 2019 that they were making in 1999. That's a big problem because the prices of things had continued to go up. Now, through the pandemic, prices obviously have gone haywire, all over the place. Prices mostly going up in a generally upward direction for almost everything. Obviously, we had big supply shortages. We've had shipping shortages. A lot of craziness going on. But what has happened is people cannot continue to get lower wages. So they're quitting their jobs in droves. They're switching sectors. They're increasing their skills. They're moving into higher income careers. And look, I think a lot of that's very positive. What I don't think is positive is that we have a national policy of continuing to print money. Our government spending is just out of control, and there's really no way to pay it back. So we're also in a position where the Federal Reserve can't lower interest rates any further because they're so low. So there's no more ammunition in case of in case of another market downturn or something like that. But they also can't raise rates either, because if they raise rates, we probably can't even pay the interest on our national debt. So they are really in between a rock and a hard place. So that being said, I think these interest rates are going to stay low, and prices of almost everything are going to continue to go up, at least for the next few years. And the hope is that we don't go into hyperinflation. Obviously, there are some people who are, doom and gloom calling for that. And that is a possibility. You also have people on the other side of the spectrum saying, oh no, technology is going to improve so much, and we're going to have so much automation that actually prices of things are going to go down. We're actually going to have deflation. Look, I don't know. I'm not a trained economist. I also don't have a crystal ball. But what I can tell you is that it feels in our local real estate market, which is what I do day in and day out, it feels like there's no reason for prices to go down. I hear people saying all the time, oh, well, we want to buy when the market crashes. And my question is, well, when is that going to happen? Because in order for that to happen, the buyer pool would have to evaporate. And I don't think that's happening because we have a lot of people here. And in fact, we continue to have more people move here because the quality of life is so high here. If you live here in Northwest Arkansas, you know what I'm talking about. It's amazing with the parks and the mountain bike trails and the lakes and and the culture and the arts and all the things that we have, a lot of people are moving here for that. The other thing that could happen is that you would have a massive amount of people putting their house for sale. Well, how are they going to do that if they don't have anywhere to move? Right? So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy here. It's very difficult for people to move when they don't know where they're going to move to, and there are no houses in the market that match what they're looking for. So what this means for you is that if you are thinking of selling your house right now, you are going to get a historically high price for it. It's going to amaze you what your house is probably worth right now. You should probably get in touch with me and let's look at the numbers, and I'll show you exactly what the price range is that your house will probably sell within. If you're buying right now, if you need to sell that house and then you need to buy, you also need an agent who can help you go find off-market deals. And I don't have pocket listings, okay, in my back pocket, but what I am willing to do is to say, these are your criteria. This is the type of house you're looking for. This is maybe the school district you're looking to be in. You're looking to be within 15 minutes of work or whatever. And we'll craft an area, and then we'll find the neighborhoods that have the price ranges that you're qualified for within that area. And then we can target market those neighborhoods and market you as a buyer. Okay? Not just market your house to the market, but market you as a buyer to people who are thinking about selling their house, but they don't want to go through all the trouble of the traditional listing and staging it and dealing with all the showings and all the craziness that you have to do. Those people are out there. And they will take a good solid offer and not go through all the hassle of a listing and have the multiple offer situation. And they could be giving up $20,000 or $30,000, and they know that. And they're actually okay with it because they don't want to do the work of getting everything prepared. That is a new program that I've just created, and I'm calling it the Dream Home Finder program. It's something that we're going to be doing through 2022. And if you are in that situation where you need to sell a house to move up to a different house, this is the program that you want to talk to me about. I promise you want to talk to me about it. Message me down below. I'll have a link just to Facebook Messenger. You can message me right there. I would be happy to talk to you about it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. This was our November 2021 monthly market update. I hope that was good for you. And if there's anything else I can do for you, please reach out. Other than that, I'll catch you next month.